My name is Paul Woff. I'm the owner of Woff Contracting here in Edenton. I employ 50 employees that go from North Carolina, Virginia to South Carolina. We're in the pile drive marine construction business and heavy moving type business. Sometimes move buildings and lighthouses. We had an elastic plant, and we had a dyeing company that dyed cloth products from all over the world. In fact, they shipped cloth from other parts of the countries to here, and they dyed it and shipped them out. Well, that's all done overseas now. We had three major boat builders here that two of them consolidated into one, but there are probably 200 less employees with a combination of that as to what it was before. You had a carbon paper company that went out of business here. They employed 250, 300 people. Yeah, anytime we get a project of that nature, the short term that you gain from it in the way of using products and local people, and then there's a permanent employment that comes with it. There's a huge ripple effect just by nature of, just like when the trucks come to town with these large loads and long loads, they've got tremendous amounts of tires on them, and so our local tire person, Colony Tire, those type things, the fuel people, everybody that does any type of support for them, it allows them to help their bottom line. It's from concrete to the rock suppliers, do it for the foundations to the hotel industry here for the amount of people it takes to put a project of that nature together. Local restaurants, that's all temporary, but for a period of 1 year, you had a tremendous amount of people putting this whole package together. The best thing for me, short term, with this obviously is I was able to take my employees who travel as much as 3 to 5 hours on a weekly basis to job sites across North Carolina, Virginia, and able to work them right here where they didn't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drive, several hours to go to work. So in the long term, there's maintenance that has to be done, and they need cranes and things of that nature to help. And so we feel like we'll be able to assist with some of that as time goes on. It basically meant we hired 6 additional people that will probably be permanent people that now we've started as like a transfer station. I think some of these things give the kids hope because it's happening in our area. A lot of the kids that grew up here feel like when all the loss of jobs were happening, they all felt like they would never be able to come back to Edenton. And now we're starting to get some things here. And some of the young kids are thinking, well, if I can make a decent income, I would love to move back to Edenton. My kids have been used to us doing different projects surrounding my father before me. If you go through Edenton and see even the Civil War monument, my dad and his brothers moved that, and and along the Edenton waterfront, we've done lots of the waterfront improvements, piers and breakwaters, and so it's always been a unique thing for me to be able to pass on to my kids and grandkids that I was a part of building something here, and the wind farm, to know that we were part of that. As I tell my kids, I want them to be able to say that I had a part in making history as well as helping do my part for clean energy. Yeah, I think energy independence is very important to the folks here, and myself included. A lot of the problems we have in the world are because terrorists are funded by oil prices in their areas, and the more we get independent here in the U.S., the stronger we become. Having clean energy from wind is better than having, obviously carbon fuels and some of the things that go with it, but I think it's just makes the U.S. a little more versatile to have more than one type of way of making energy. My question to those opposed is, when your kids and grandkids ask you, what did you do to help promote clean energy? Were you going to sit on the sidelines, or would you be actively involved to say, I helped, not only help build them, but I help promote it? Because it may not be the most efficient right at this point for energy, but you've got to start somewhere to learn and get better and better at it. In my business, we do a lot of work high up in the air, and the higher you go, the more constant the wind is. So when you see that power and it's just going for nothing, all of a sudden you're turning into energy, which I think is pretty fantastic, really.